Hello again, welcome to the Pinstripe Beauty. I'm still so happy with them. The Rolls Royce Silver Spirit. I'm looking forward to this episode today because we are going to be cleaning and polishing. So got loads to do today. I'm hoping by the end I might be able to have maybe the boot and the inside empty. I might be jumping ahead of myself a bit there because we've got lots to do on the bodywork still. So I'm going to be using the hairdryer here to try to remove all the blue tape because it's gone rock hard everywhere and it's going to be a nightmare to come off. What's happening is it's just leaving all the residue behind when you just go to peel it. So hopefully by using the hairdryer on it, it's going to reactivate, melt the glue again, and it will be peelable. We're going to be using this Meguiar's Ultimate Paint Care Kit. So we have compound, polish, and also ultimate liquid wax with various different applicators here. So yeah, should be good. And also I want to do some metal polish as well on all the metal bits. So try to get these up nice and clean, and this beautiful grill here. I'm looking forward to polishing up that. So we've got lots and lots to get through. I'm going to start on the actual bodywork itself, then move on to the metal, and then probably move on to the interior. Now when I do the interior, I will be using little bits of paint to touch up any scrapes and scratches anywhere. So if I see, for example, you know, a mark here, for example, then I can just add a little bit. Well, if I can't clean it, then I'll add a little bit of paint to it, just with a very fine brush or a little needle or something, just tapping on a needle's worth onto it just to take your eye off it. So yeah, hopefully by the end of the day we will see something that might look a little bit more shiny, or if not today, maybe by the end of another day. I'm not sure how long this is all going to take. Looking forward to polishing up this as well, making them all shiny. Should be good. And the good news is I've had a look under the bonnet and I can't see any more rat droppings, so I'm hoping the rats moved away and gone on to terrorise someone else or somebody else's car. So yeah, unless it's hiding somewhere completely different in the car, in the engine bay anyway, I can't see any more rat droppings, just the ones that were there before. So today I'll also have to brush them away or pick them off, and then I'll know in future whether there's any more fresh droppings. So to begin with, I'm just kind of doing panel by panel. So I'm doing this half of the bonnet here and this front wing, and I'm using Ultimate Compound, and I'm using it on the blue little polisher pad thing here, because if you have a look here, there's all different colours. So this is the blue one here, and then afterwards for the other one, so when I go on to this second one here, I'm going to go over to the red one, this one here. Now I don't actually know what should be blue and what should be red. Maybe I should be doing red now, but that feels very, very soft, so I think I'm going to use the blue one because it's a bit harder, and hopefully then it will work this into it a bit more. Clearly I'm washing down each panel as I go, so I'm not just doing it on top of that there. I'm washing that down, then doing it. You get the idea. So it's going to take me quite a while to get through all the different ones. And I'm staying away from the pinstripe because I don't want to wear away my lovely work here. So you can see I'm going just above and just below. The odd bit will hit onto it. It should be absolutely fine. A lot of people said that I should have put that on before the clear coat, and yeah, that probably would have been the best idea to do. It's just when Rolls Royce do it, they do it as far as I know when the car is finished, but I suppose if I put it on before the clear coat, then I could buff back a lot easier. Also, lots of people gave me suggestions for the rat number plate. Kip Hakes did, before I released that video, actually come up with the same number that a lot of you guys did, and I'm so tempted to get it. It's a really, really good one. But then when I'm speaking to my wife, she's saying, why don't I get an MMV one? Because there's loads of even better MMV ones for around about the same price, and that way then it's still a personal thing to me, yet it means that I could always move it on to another car at a later stage as well. While with rats, it's going to be a little bit, you know, great for this, but maybe not so great for future cars. So I'm not sure. I might not even go with a personalised registration. But yeah, I am sorely tempted to get the rat one. But we'll see if I can get the MOT on it first. So basically, once I make it all gleaming, that's when I'm going to take it for an MOT. So I'm hoping it will be the next episode I'll take it for an MOT, because I've got the insurance, so really there's nothing stopping me now. Once I make it look nice and clean, then I'll be happy taking it for an MOT, and it means then that as far as the series is concerned, I've kind of done the work in my dad's back garden, and I can kind of close it then if it passes the MOT. I don't think it is going to pass the MOT because I think the power steering fluid is leaking, so maybe that will be a failure. There's still going to be plenty of videos on it, it's just that I want to do them in their own right rather than keep doing up the part numbers like part 60, part 61, etc. I think it would just be nicer to be able to do individual videos on it after that. So yeah, hopefully the MOT will be the next episode after this one. So I'm still on the compound, I'm just doing bits by hand, so the bits that the polisher can't really get to, like up here, I'm doing it by hand, and it's quite therapeutic, and also down here as well and across the bottom here. So that way then I'm not going to be scratching up the stainless steel, but I'm going to be polishing all that up anyway. It's more tiring, but it's really nice doing it by hand. You have so much more feeling. And I've got my mate Vince's dad on the go today. Check this out, he's doing the metal polishing for me. But unfortunately, it's not warm enough for the sandals. What's going on? It's coming up a treat though. Good thing about this is the metal polish is actually taking off the sticky goo at the same time as well. And this is what we're using. When I say we, that's the royal we. And I'll start filming again when he polishes up this here, because I think that's going to come up an absolute treat. Now this seems as good a time as any to shout out the My Mate Vince Massive. So the members this month are kitdigital.com, Kip Hakes, Max Rokotansky, Chris Seal, Felipe at MrKeeps.com, DJ VG, Pigsy, Anthony Dean, Bazza2, Russ Melanson, Gaspar Heller, Rickard Bergland, Soul Reaver 555, the My Mate Vince fan club over on Facebook, Shamsa Al Sawadi, and back once again, who remembers this name? Stuart Park. So a massive thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Right, that is the car compounded. One lot anyway, hopefully one lot's enough. I'm now going to go round with a microfiber and clean it up and see if a shine starts to come. Well, I can see reflections, but yeah, if I can't really see any facial features when I look at myself in here. Not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, I mean, come on, it has to look better than it was before. But still, when I put the next compound on now, hopefully it will make it even shinier, and then with the wax at the very end, it might bring it right up. But yeah, that's looking uniformly pretty nice. And Dad is doing a lovely job of that there. Look at the reflection. How nice is that? Look at that. It's starting to look like a mirror finish. Now it shows you when things are dirty, it hides loads of sins. So if you have a look now, there's a real big scratch going here, and it continues on all the way up here. So maybe when they were doing the wrap, because I don't remember doing that. Also, there's a perfect line scratch going up here as well. So I think when they were doing the wrap, they must have come along with a Stanley knife or something and scraped through, because I don't see how I would have done that, like a perfect straight line there and a perfect straight line there, and it continues up here as well. So, but anyway, the thing is, from a couple of feet away, it's looking stunning. Okay, so I've been wiping back the compound. Overall, I'm happy with everything. I think when I put the next one on and then the final wax, I think it will look okay. I'm just not happy with the roof, so I'm going to go and do the roof one more time, because it just looks patchy. Down the middle, it looks patchy. So maybe it's because I couldn't lean and put enough pressure on. Not too sure. Or maybe I didn't cut it back well enough when I was doing the sanding back again, because it was harder to reach. So I'm going to go over it with the compound again, just on the roof, and hopefully I can do the next lot of polish. Look at the shine my dad's getting on that. It actually now looks a slightly different colour. It's kind of taken on a slightly more bronze type gold look, even though clearly it's not. It looks unbelievable. I can't get over how well that is coming out. That's going to put my paintwork to shame. Well, I've picked an amazing day to work down here today. Sun's belting down, it's just lovely. Anyway, I've gone over the roof again with the compound, and I think it looks a little bit better than before. It's still patchy compared to the rest of the car, but I think, you know, once I give it the next polish and stuff, hopefully it will be all right. So yeah, initially I'm very happy with it. So now I'm going to go over to this one over here. What's it called? Ultimate Polish. There's something about this stuff that's just so nice. It's just the smells of it. It's just lovely to work with. I know this stuff isn't cheap, but it really is nice. I don't think they make, you know, ones that are not nice anymore. They just all seem to have a lovely smell to them. So now I'm going to use this, but this time I'm going to use this one because it's a lot softer. And then the very last one will be putting on by hand. So with this stuff, apparently you're not supposed to let it dry. So I've got the red polishing pad on. Applying some there, and I think you're supposed to do small areas at a time. God, this smells even better than the last one. You know, the most enjoyable thing is that I bought a pack of, I think it was 50 microfiber cloths for around £12. I'm always, you know, like running out of these, and now I've just got ample. So it's just lovely. You can just use a fresh one all the time, and then just wash them when you're done. Oh wow. Oh, look at that. Look at that reflection. Can you see? Whoa. Oh my word. Right, that's going to keep me busy for the next few hours. Okay, I'll put the ultimate polish absolutely everywhere. You really have to be careful to do small amounts at a time, because for example, if I do half a bonnet, then what happens is it dries and it really is hard to get off. You can see I've got all these microfiber cloths up here now. They're just, and see, when they're wet, all that's happening is you're smearing it around the place. Anyway, it's all done. Now what I have to do is use this liquid wax. So with this, you just apply a small bit onto the applicator pad, rub it on, leave it for 5 or 10 minutes to dry, and then buff it off with the given microfiber. So I'm going to do that now. Oops. Right, so you can put on this one with the polisher as well, but I think I'm just going to do this lot by hand. Again, smells amazing. Annoyingly, a seagull or a bird or something flew past and plopped all down my tripod and camera, right where the handle is. Good shot. Had the whole garden to get. Which shows my camera. Right, there you go. So you can see I did that area there. So once that dries in 5 or 10 minutes, I can then buff it off with this. Right, it's been about 5 minutes now. Now, there we go. Look at that reflection there. That's pretty good, isn't it? So I'm going to go around the whole car, do that, and then I need to keep getting rid of the tape. My dad's been helping me around the windscreen and stuff, getting rid of the tape. It's taking forever. Right, the liquid wax is done. I don't really want to go too close to it yet, because I kind of want to, I don't want to study it yet. I want to clean everything else to make it look good, like the wheels and stuff. And then I kind of want to see the finished result. If I'm honest with you, it's not quite as good as I thought it was gonna be, but considering it's come out of a rattle can, it's still good. As I say, we'll have a close look later, but you can see there's plenty of reflections there on the bonnet, but it still has a kind of underlying slightly dull tone. It hasn't got a deep gloss to it. I suppose I'm asking too much, you know. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take off all the tape everywhere. So I'm going to use the hairdryer. My dad's already done it on loads of bits, but you can see it's left behind a lot of stuff here. So yeah, I'm going to take all this off. That will take absolutely ages. This side seems to have come up particularly well. I mean, if I look at my trainer there, can you see? It's really good. But you see, it was already quite good over this side, you know? So maybe, I'm not sure. Let's have a quick look over the other side. Yeah, I suppose it's the same really, isn't it? It's just on this side I can stand back and look at it from further. Basically, you wouldn't be able to do your makeup in it. 2 words, 4 syllables. First word begins with S. Second word begins with D. Yes, you've got it. Soul destroying. Oh my word, it's painful. It's painful, more painful than you can imagine. What someone needs to do is make a tape where you can mask something off and keep it on for a month and be able to peel it off. I suppose it's impossible because the glue just goes too solid. My word. Thing is, to stick up for myself, I couldn't keep taping up the car every time I come down because it takes hours upon hours to tape up the car, hence the reason it was left on for so long. Now it's on camera, it's behaving itself. Other parts have been coming off in tiny little millimetre bits. I know why this bit's so easy. This was only put on a week and a bit ago. Now, from memory, this side has been on for ages, so let's see what it comes out like here. Well, that actually has to go down as being quite satisfying. Yeah, that came off particularly easy. Right, that's all the blue tape off the car, and now what I've got to do is try to get rid of all the residue that's left behind. So I'm using the metal polish and a little bit of plastic, and what I'm doing is I'm scraping like this, and it seems to be cleaning it up. I just hope the metal polish doesn't have some reaction with the paint. I've tried to use IPA, it didn't take the stickiness off. I've tried to use methylated spirits and it didn't take the stickiness off. Not easily anyway, not without a huge amount of scrubbing. It seems to be working. It doesn't seem to be damaging the paint. Which I suppose you would expect, otherwise when people do something like this they're going to damage the paintwork. So hopefully it's going to be safe, but I just want to bear it in mind because remember, my paint isn't going to be as strong as a manufacturer's paint because mine's just 1K, not 2K. Right, so my dad's just cleaning around here, and I remember I was told that WD-40 is good for cleaning off the goo, and out of everything it certainly is. So that does work better than methylated spirits and IPA. So yeah, that's starting to work its magic here. And I'm nearly out of light now today. I think it's about 8:30. But check this out. I've been working on that strip here. How nice does that look now? Look at that. Look at the reflection on that bonnet. I am showing you, you know, one of the better parts of the car. But look at that strip there. How nice is that? And also it's you know, the sun is very low in the sky now, so it's going to look better now than if the sun was beating on it. But look at that, that looks really, really good. I cleaned all in here with a little brush to get all the you know, the dried compound and stuff out of it. How nice does that look there? Look at that there. Amazing. So I'm going to be back on this another day now and just keep on with the cleaning up and the polishing of metal and everything. But it is 100% starting to take shape now. Right, I know it's very dark now, and I said I was finishing up, but you know what it's like, you get a bit carried away. Anyway, this just works really, really nice. So a Stanley blade, you know, a sharp blade against the glass, and then I don't have to worry about the sticky tape. And because glass is just so flat and this is so sharp, it just cuts through it without actually scratching the glass, because you've just got the whole flat edge against it, you know, like that. Look at that, you can hear it. That there is so satisfying. And what's amazing is there was quite a bit of overspray on the back window. You know, when I was scraping it around, I thought, oh no, am I taking off some sort of tint? But I'm not. There was actually quite a bit of overspray on there. Obviously, I wouldn't use this on the metalwork. This is purely for the glass. There, you can hear now. It's gone. Look, listen. A little bit here. Can't really see what I'm doing now. I reckon that is gone. There's a bit here as well. Got to be careful here because there's all rubber, but what you can do is you can get a scraper like this and just put it up against there and then just go up to the scraper. That way then you're not going to damage the rubber. Right, I'm going to do this when I'm down next because I need some light to do this. I'm so happy with progress today. A couple of days later, and today the weather isn't very favourable, but check out the beading that's going on the car. Isn't that lovely? So yeah, it's looking well. It's definitely looking well. Of course it's going to look better when it's covered in rain because it hides all the imperfections, but it's still looking good. Right, we are going to, it's been a while, I've got the silver pen out, let's get some Patreon names on the go. Now this lot of names is going to live here. Right, there we go. So you can pause it, see if your name's on there. And I thought another good spot would be under the rear headrest there. I thought that would be a nice place to put some names. So I've added some names here as well. Another Vincent, what are the odds? So when they dry, I'll put them back in place. And speaking about drying, it's supposed to have cleared up by now, and it's still not. So what I might do is I might start to empty out the inside. I think that would make me feel good, having a cleaner inside here. So what I'm going to do now is I noticed that it was irritating me. When you look down the gap of the seat there, it looks nice. When you look down the gap of the seat here, all you can see is a load of colourful wires. So I'm going to try to tuck away what I can underneath this. And I'm not sure originally whether there would have been a bit of carpet going a bit further. I don't think there is. It looks like the carpet ends there. It just looks a little bit unsightly, so I'm going to see if I can do anything. I think I'm going to be able to hide them underneath this bit here, because obviously this goes down on the inside here, so there's no room underneath, but there's plenty of room underneath here because it's just hollow apart from some wires and switches. So I'm going to move all that up underneath there. I've undone the screw there, 2 screws. I've undone 2 screws down there as well, and I've put the seats back and also the back of the seats back, and that way then it will allow me to drag all that hopefully up here. It's just a little bit hard to work because I've got the steering wheel and everything in my way, but yeah, I think I'll be able to hide them nicely. Like anything on this car, everything little becomes a bigger job. But anyway, I think I'm going to be successful now. I had to undo the 2 bolts through the ashtray there. They're 8mm bolts, and it means this lifts up. Now it will allow me access to move all those cables under this section. Okay, so this is where they're going to be going up now. They're going to be going up this area here, and I'm going to cover all those wires there, because look, they are just bare wires coming out of that bit of plastic there, and that is slightly on display. I know it's mostly covered by the seat, but there is still a bit of a gap there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cable tie them together to the bigger cable, and then I'm going to put a load of tape around it to give them a bit more protection, and also make them black so they're not going to stand out as much. But that connector there will be hidden when this is down on top of it. Well, that was a lot more work than I thought it would be, but anyway, you can see it's all taped up now, so it should give it a little bit more protection. But as well as that, when I look down, I'm not going to see a bird's nest of wires. I'm just going to see a little black lump, which is going to be a lot better. And that side just looks perfect. So I'm going to bolt this all back into position now. This has to come all the way up here, get bolted down, and put the bolts through here. Right, it's back together. That took quite a bit longer than I thought it would do. But anyway, now when I look down here, I really like the look of it, because I can't see anything. Trust me, before it was so obvious by the eye, there was just a load of bird nest of wires. Now look, completely hidden away on both sides. And the seats still go forward and back okay, because all that cabling is actually under the seats. You know, they're mounted to the floor, and that goes under the mounting, and then basically the seats are allowed to move on top. So yeah, they're not going to be cutting through any wires. I think because the weather is still against me today, it's still wet, it's still drizzling. It's supposed to stop at 3, and the time now is nearly 5. So I am going to start cleaning out the inside of the car, putting things down to the shed, cleaning out the boots, and then I'm going to hoover everything and try to just clean up all this dust and dirt everywhere. And once I clean up in here, I can put this in as well. Oh, look at that. Doesn't really make much difference, but for some reason I wanted one. At long last, the rain has eased up and I'm starting to clean everything out. So I'm going to get the vacuum cleaner out now, the Henry, and I'm going to give everything a nice good hoover and stuff, and that will hopefully get rid of a lot of the dust and dirt. This is interesting. You might be wondering, remember the carpet's going to cover this, the carpet with the green stain. You might be wondering what this is for. Well, the idea is you pick this off here, it's a little rubber bung, and that's how you can see if your spare tyre is pumped up enough. Can you see the valve just here? So you can check the air pressure on your spare tyre, which is nice. This is how you loosen down your spare tyre, from here. And I haven't got all the bits. I presume that's where all the there's a toolkit hidden away in this bit here, up here, and I have only got the jack, and I bought the ratchet thing for the jack. But what I now need to get is I need to get a wheel brace thing, so I'll probably have to get just a socket set kept in here, and then it means I can undo this here. And then the idea is, see this thing here, there's supposed to be another tube that you have, like a handle that you put in here, and you can gently lower it to the ground. I might have a little look online, see if anybody's selling them. I don't want to jump ahead of myself because I haven't got the MOT yet, but yeah, that's the idea, you see. And then you pull the tyre out. The thing is, if you were a chauffeur, you're going to get absolutely filthy, aren't you? Because the tyre's underneath and it's just going to be covered in road dirt and stuff. So and yet if you were chauffeuring someone somewhere, you would have to do that yourself, wouldn't you? So you're going to get absolutely filthy, unless the idea was you were to keep some overalls somewhere. But I presume the boot space is going to be left for the customer, you know, to put their luggage and stuff on their airport trips. So yeah, I'm not sure what they were thinking there, but I suppose what they wanted is lots of boot space, and I suppose you don't often have puncture tyres, do you? I like that though, because I think that's an afterthought. I think they did it all and then thought, uh-oh, somebody said, how are we supposed to check the tyre pressure? You might be putting on a tyre that's already flat. So then I think they thought, oh, okay, how are we going to get around that? Let's cut a hole and then get a rubber bung. So, but look, it works. It stopped raining. Woohoo! Cleansing. Oh, feels so nice to have nothingness. Now I'm going to put the green stain carpet in. Henry's been busy. Cleansing. Not so cleansing. Not so cleansing. But apart from that, very cleansing. check this out. Space to have a couple of bottles. Unfortunately, you can't get the cylinder shaped bottles anymore, the round ones. They only have the square ones. So I tried to buy them, but they're out of stock. I think they're rare. You know, you need the old Castrol type round ones. And look at this here. Pull this, and that opens up there. Lovely. Oh, that feels so good. And to think that when I got the car, the boot didn't even open. Look at that there now. Beautiful. Right, so I'm cleaning in all the nooks and crannies. I've got a huge amount of green out of these bits here, so that might make the windows go up and down a little bit easier. These windows are so slow to move, apart from the driver's one, but the driver's one I had the motor out, and all the other windows I haven't had the motor out from memory. So I suppose what's happened is they're clogged up with dried grease on the inside. So maybe through use they might start to free up again, not too sure. So I'm just trying to, when you open the doors and stuff, it's nice to see these bits all clean. And I'm going to try to use some metal polish on here, and also the Jack Barkley sign here, because it's actually sunken down in black. So what this would be nice for is if I did get some black paint, put it on there and just rub it off. I think it would fill up the gaps really nicely. In fact, I might do that. You can see all the black coming off here. Look at that. So I'm going to use some metal polish on here, here and here, and then what I'm going to do is, you're not supposed to use this inside, but this isn't really inside as far as I'm concerned, so I'm going to be using this here. Nobody's going to be like sitting on this or anything, so yeah, I'm going to put a little bit of this just to keep the black on it. Otherwise when it dries it will probably go to a bit of a greyish colour. I'm being careful, I'm not going to go around the edges near the carpet. Look at that. Wow, even that there has made a difference. Can you see the difference between that and that? So I've done this half, but not that half. I need to do it again and again. I'm never going to get rid of all the scratches, but you can really see it's much shinier than over here. This looks dull. That looks shiny. Look. Look at the reflection. See the reflection here? Then when you come over here, very little reflection. So, leave it with me for a bit. Okay, so I've polished everything up. It's come up a bit shinier, but clearly it's still scratched all over. I'm not going to be able to polish through like a whole millimetre. Well, I could, but I'm not going to because I'll be here all week. Anyway, let's see if we can make this stand out again. So, I've got my Hammerite smooth metal paint. I've got my brush. I've given it a real good clean in here now. So, with a clean microfiber, and I've been going in all these bits here. Now what I'm hoping is to put the paint on and basically I don't care if it's messy, I'm hoping then afterwards to get a Stanley blade and scrape it off. So I'm just going to be spraying this in the lid, just off camera. Right, so I've got it in here now. Let's put it in and see what happens. Oh, more watery than I thought. This company's still going. They're in Mayfair, in Berkeley Square. You know what, this seems way too watery. One second, maybe I haven't shaken it enough. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't think that's going to work. I wanted something to be thicker to actually fill up the holes. You know, the engraving. I don't think... Oh, actually, mind you, that looks very good there. As it's drying, it looks very good. I think it will be all right. Right, so I've probably put that on too thick. Okay, well, we'll let it dry, and we'll see what happens. Right, it's gone tacky. Now I'm just putting another coat in. Well, it's still drying, so rather than sitting around and wait, I'm going to put a little bit of this bumper and trim gel on here. I'm in two minds whether to or not, because it's actually come out quite a uniform colour and it's dry now. So I may end up spoiling it, but this stuff doesn't last forever anyway, so it will wear off again. Let's put it on and see what it looks like. Again, it smells unbelievably nice. That's more like it. Oh wow. You know what, it doesn't matter if I go on the stainless steel, does it? Because I just wipe it off before it dries. Same with the paint. Right, that's drying really nice here. If it stays that colour now, it'll look lovely. You can see all the wear here, where people have been picking up their feet and dragging them across, and also coming out, dragging them here. It's amazing, so much wear here. So I suppose that's why they were put on here in the first place, is to protect the paintwork from the, you know, feet coming in and out. I suppose all cars have something here, don't they? Normally they have something, don't they? A bit of plastic, a bit of shiny thing, or the name of the brand of the car. Right, I'm going to get the Stanley knife. I'm just going to give the brushes a wash out. Okay, I've got my Stanley blade here from the Stanley knife, the spare blades of the Stanley knife. Let's see now if I scrape what's going to happen. You ready? Is it going to look good or awful? Here goes. I don't think we're quite dry enough yet. Not quite dry enough, but it has left the paint in there. Oh my word, that is pretty satisfying. I think it will be dry enough. Just a little bit tacky, that's all. It's kind of bunching up on the knife a bit, the blade. The reason I'm not leaving it for hours upon hours is because when I did the rusty window, I used this Hammerite, and I don't know whether it's an iffy one, because when I used the out of a paint can, it seems to dry really quick, but when I sprayed it, it just seemed to take forever. So I don't really want to wait here for hours on hours for it to dry. It's working a treat now. Wow. Wow, seriously, wow. Oh my, oh my, oh my. That is going to look amazing. No, right, so that doesn't work there. I just took it out there, so that's not an option to use a microfiber because I've just taken all the paint out from here. Right, so I'm going to get the paint again, and I'm going to go over just this bit here because I've taken it off from, well, do you know what? I don't need to do the outside lines, I just need to do the J and the B. The Bentley and the Rolls Royce looks fine. I'm just going to do the Jack Barkley bit, but that really does look, it looks amazing. It really does. Now I know it looks like it's all scratched and stuff, but it's not. If I just use a tiny bit of spit on my finger, watch, can you see there? Can you see it's going to all come off? I just have to wait until the paint is completely dry. Oh, that looks phenomenal. So let me paint up this bit and then let it dry, and then I'll do the final rub off. Right, this is still very tacky to touch, even when I put the hairdryer on it. I had this problem before with this paint. I just need to walk away. It will harden, so I'm going to have to come back to this another day. But what's amazing is the actual definition of the engraving. when you look at that Bentley sign there and the Rolls Royce, it's insane. So yeah, I know it doesn't look good now, but honestly, when that dries and then I can just go over it, even with just a little bit of water and a microfiber cloth, just to get rid of all this stain in here, then it's going to start coming up. It's going to start coming up much nicer. Yeah. So I have to show you that another time. Right, I'm running out of light, unfortunately. It feels like I've done nothing today, which is strange because I've been working non-stop. It's just the time's flown. I've discovered this here. I don't think I've seen that before, unless I'm dreaming. I don't think I've mentioned that in a video. So that must be child lock. So right now, this door you can open from the inside. Shall we see if, first of all, is it even going to work? Oh my word. Hold on. I was going to say, is something on this car going to work? Yes, it goes down. Should we see if child lock works? Now, come on, give me something. Oh yes. Wow, child lock actually works. Let's see if it works on this door here. We can clean up the sills. Let's see, this is going to take ages cleaning all around here. This is what I've been working on today on the other doors. Ready? Whoa. Yes, it goes down. Right, let me open up this door so I don't have to clamber through the front seats. And let's take the child lock off this one. There we go, back up again. Let's see if it works. Fantastic. Right now, this side. Result, the child lock actually works. Brilliant news. Right, purely because I said I would, I'm just going to show you how dirty it is in here. So if I get the cloth in here, this is on the windscreen. I know you can't see anything. But look, if I just go along here and take that out, can you see the green on there? So, and if I keep putting it down, it will just keep on coming. There'll be more and more and more. The wetter it gets, the more there will be. Can't really see anything, can you? There you go. But I suppose that will cause friction, and that won't help the window going up and down. Also, I'm doing in this little gap here, where the metal meets the rubber, and that will be all green as well. If you have a look. Yeah. Now, is this going to help it pass the MOT? No. Does it make me feel good? Yes. Right, so now it's nice to see some carpet. And look here as well, all nice and empty. So I'll probably come down here again tomorrow or the next day or something, and we'll just keep on cleaning and tidying, and then hopefully tomorrow, maybe if I get one more full day at it, then I might be able to finish up this video and show you a car at the end that will look nice and sparkling. Right, it's the next day now, third day down here on this particular video, and what I'm doing is polishing up and cleaning up still. So I'll just do a little bit of this on camera here now, and then basically I've got to go across all the other metal work and do the same. But when it comes to stuff like this here, I'm just going to be doing this by hand. So I'm not going to do much filming today because really it's much of a muchness. If anything interesting happens, I will start filming again. Now, as much as I do despise these bumpers, they do come up amazingly well when you give them a bit of a polish. So I presume they're just solid lumps of stainless steel as well. It's insane really, that's where all the money's gone. And that's why even if you want to buy them second hand, sorry, aftermarket, not original, aftermarket, they're still charging, I think it was £3,000 plus VAT. Or was it £4,000 plus VAT? Yeah, I think it was as much as the car to buy the bumpers. Look how well they've come out. I've just filmed this bit just in case it all goes wrong. So I've put a little bit of metal polish on it, and I'm just gently going over it just to, I'm not going to press hard down into the actual lettering. There we go. So now if you look at that step as a whole, it looks much nicer than it did before, and you can clearly see that it's all the black's gone into all the bits there, so you can really read it, which is nice. Well, I'm just going around polishing up the handles and stuff, and polishing up stuff like this. It's taken forever, if I'm honest with you. So I want to get this video finished up today, so I'm not quite sure that the finish is, I think it needs more work. I think it's going to take days and days. For example, to do the grill, I've been polishing up the grill. I know my dad did it the other day, but the more you look, the more you see. So now, for example, in here, I've been trying to get in here to do, but to be fair, doing the grill in its own right is probably half a day's work, maybe even longer, because you know, to get into all these bits you need to use tiny little bits of wood and stuff like that on the cloth, so it's quite hard work. Anyway, we are getting there. I'm going to do a bit more metal polishing, and then I'm going to give everything a wash because it's all dirty again now, and I also need to do the wheels. That will probably take me up to the end of the day. I really want to end this episode with the car looking nice and clean and polished, because this is the cleanest it's ever going to look. But annoyingly, there's a 47% chance of rain at 4 o'clock, and it's 4 o'clock now. So I'm just hoping. I still need to wash it. I've done one coat, one lot. I need to do it again and again, just because there's, you know, dust and stuff and all this white residue everywhere. And then I need to do a bit of back to black on the bumpers. I really want to be able to show it to you when it's dry, not wet, so you can sort of see the reflections and everything. Oh, I hope it doesn't rain. I remember it was nearly 2 years ago that I was sat here in nearly the same position talking about the new project I was going to be working on. And now I'm finished. Yes, it needs to have an MOT, and there might be loads more wrong with it, but I've done what I can do with it at the side of the house. It has been, I would say, a labour of love, but there hasn't been a huge amount of love. It's just been hard work. It's taken much longer than I thought, but you know what? Projects often do. What project ever is straightforward? But this car had so much wrong with it, and so many people said, give up, Vince, it's going to be a money pit. Now yes, it has been a bit of a money pit, but most of the things I've bought have been from eBay, and now when I look at this here, I'm so happy with how it has turned out. Yes, it isn't a Rolls Royce restoration. What do you expect? It's at the side of the house, out in the open, with very limited tools. But when you think about all the work that this car had done, all the electrics, the hydraulics, all the welding, do you remember the rear wheel arches on both sides? Completely gone, and it had that horrible wrap on it. Nothing worked. Even the Spirit of Ecstasy didn't retract. So now I feel, honestly, I feel pretty proud. So I'm going to go to the bottom of the garden. I'm going to walk up. Luckily, the sun is kind of shining. It's a little bit behind the cloud at the moment, but the rain stayed off. So this is probably the best it's ever going to look. There is lots of imperfections on it, so don't look too closely. But considering what it was like and what it's like now, I think it looks pretty damn good. Are you ready? Now, look, it just looks straight. It just looks nice. Remember the front valance before was all over the place? Now the car kind of sits. It sits straight. It looks good. I need to start it up to get the back to raise up. We'll do that in a minute. But there we have it. It's looking pretty nice, isn't it? We have a nice bit of shine and bling going on around the place. Pinstripes look amazing. The roof's got a bit of shine. All the stainless steel came up nice. Let's look at it from this angle. Ta-da! I actually like this car a lot more now than I did when I first got it. Imperfections are stuff like this. Can you see that there's a run here? I'm not going to point out the imperfections. You'll see them as and when I do more videos on it. Look at all this. It's come up so nice. The pinstripe, the wheels, everything. Really, we need to take it to a car park somewhere so we can get a good look at it from a distance. Look at that there now. It does look like a different car than when I first got it. Now I'm going to take you into each of the seats and then we're going to start it up. So let's start off on the back here. Can you see I've cleaned all this? The inside still needs work doing to it. I didn't go around and touch up all the imperfections on the leather. Oh, because I want to finish up this video. I'll do that off camera. So this is it in the back here. Let's put those down to make it look nicer. And you can see it's a very, very nice place to be. Got this to rest your hand on. Got my footrests. I've even changed my clothes for the occasion. So I'm looking a bit cleaner than normal. Right, now let's jump into this side. And this is what it looks like sat here. Oh, looks very nice, isn't it? Let's go passenger front. This door didn't even open, I don't think. No, front door didn't open. This one didn't, that one didn't lock. There's been all sorts wrong with this car. But now when I close the doors and stuff, they close with a nice confirmation thud. And this is the view from the passenger side. All very nice. I haven't even cleaned this yet, so when I clean that, that will probably come up even shinier. All these were done, do you remember? All the work that I put into them. Carpet, remember I had to dye that carpet there? I've got my little tray going on in there. I need to touch up stuff like this still. And I need to clean all in here, make it all nice. Even this didn't work. The radio, oh, I've done so much work. Right, let me show you the boots. I've clamped the battery in now as well. Oh, the door thing's here. Looking good. Oh, the boot now. Do you remember the boot didn't open? This is nice. Little magnet here. And there we have it. It's great, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. And the driver's door. Sill is looking mighty fine. And there we have it. And interestingly, do you remember I was messing with this? The last time it was night here, it was lighting up lovely. So maybe taking that green thing off worked or cleaning it up, I'm not too sure. Or it could be still intermittent. Look at that view there with the Spirit of Ecstasy. Oh my word, that is looking good. I'm going to give you a quick glimpse of the grille and then we'll start her up and we'll watch her hopefully rise. Look at that there. Doesn't that look amazing? And it still goes down. Look at that. Right, let's start it up. Kill switch. Boot lights working. All the lights are working as far as I'm aware. Now, park. Hasn't been started in, I'm not sure, at least a week. Let's see. Straight away. Now let's see it rise. Let me close the door. Now, watch this. Got to watch real close. When is it going to rise? There you go, the Ratmobile rising from the ashes. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That went up about this much. Oh, listen to it purr. Doesn't that sound lovely? I can't wait to to get it on the road. I cannot wait to get this on the road. Oh, it just looks so good. I'm loving that bit there with the lights and everything, and all the way the metal goes right the way across. I wish I had a wider lens on the camera so you could see, you know, it just looks great the way that goes across there. And the cavernous boot, look at the size of it. Let's pop the bonnet. Do you know what? I've been meaning to do this for ages. Let's do it now. That's been on here since the factory. You ready? Ah, Silver Spirit. Give that a good clean. Beautiful. Look at the bonnet. How nice does that look? The reflection of the Spirit of Ecstasy there. Hope the camera is picking that up. And there we have it. I have to give it a service after I take it for the MOT. Sounds nice though, doesn't it? And my green fluid. Is still where it should be. Well, there we have it. The next episode now, you're going to see this car, hopefully, in the driveway, face the other way. I might actually film trying to get it in and out because it was extremely tight, but my dad has cut the hedge back since. So I haven't moved this car apart from bringing it forward a foot and back a foot since I drove it in here nearly 2 years ago. So I'm really looking forward to bringing it out and then bringing it down the road for an MOT. It looks amazing for a rattle can. That just looks unbelievable. It actually looks like quite a smart car now. There's no way if that was parked up that people would look at it weirdly. Compared to what it looked like before, it was being broken for spares. Right, I'm just jumping in now. I've been here for another couple of hours. I'm putting quite a few coats on this, you know, the tray, so I've masked it off. I washed it back, but I couldn't get it back to the original colour and it was all horrible and stained. But that's about 3 coats on that now. I'm putting on with the sponge and I'm making sure that I don't go too far in the lines because then it will be obvious that it will be painted. So I'm trying to keep these bits free in here. So that's going really well. My dad had some walnut wood stain, Ronseal, and I've been putting that here on this middle bit. And it seems to be blending in nice. Again, it's going to need about 2 or 3 coats. But you know, it was all chipped here, so that's blending in nice along there. I'm starting to lose light now. And basically I've just been cleaning absolutely everywhere and it's looking amazing. So what I've been doing is, like for example, there was a scratch up here. You can still see the scratch. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. Am I going to be able to zoom in on that? No, but basically what I've been doing is, wherever there's been a mark that I want to cover, I've just been putting a little dot on and then just wiping it off with my hand, and of course it's staying in the hole and then it's not obvious because it's just a hole that's kind of been covered with the cream dye, and it looks absolutely amazing. Also, I've just gone around the place on the outside, and if there was any little chips or anything, I've just put a tiny little bit of grey paint. So there, on the bonnet there was a few tiny ones, tiny little white bits where I've just kind of just tapped on a little bit of grey paint. All across here I'd kind of burnt through, so I've just put a little bit of grey paint just on top of there. It just takes your eye off it. You know, when you're here now you can't really see it, which is good, and also it gives it some protection as well. So yeah, it's going really well. If you have a look at the inside now, it's just looking amazing. I've got a couple of things here I won't show you in this episode, I'll show you in the next episode, but they're going to be taking pride of place in the Rolls Royce. Arlen will know what they are, but nobody else will. So yeah, it's looking pretty special. It has been one long day, but look how well this has come out. I didn't dream it would come out so good. It took about 5 or 6 coats, but it looks good. I've sealed it as well, sealed the leather. Right, let's pop it in. Boom. Oh, airtight fit. Oh yes, job done.